Hey everybody, kind of had a good day yesterday actually. Taking a core battery in, going down the highway, found that one laying on the side of the road. Post there just got a little damage, little road rash right there, but nothing too serious. And it is a good battery. I'm just giving a full charge. Looks like a fairly new one. So somebody lost a brand new battery. Anyway, getting work back on 5.3, and I had my camera stands found, and as quick as I found them, I lost them again. Anyway, back to working on the 5.3, and off camera I went through, got familiar where it was. I hadn't torqued up the rod bolts or anything, so I just went through, did their torque, and then did the degree. So these are torque and then degree bolts. And here's my crankshaft turner I've got for the LS. And then this is and there's the correct harmonic balancer installer when we get to that point. And also what you're going to need is a good manual with details, and that. Got some papers that were printed off. Got the head gaskets here. And as I said in one of the live shows one night, found out where you guys are messing with these motors. If you're putting aluminum heads on, you need these multi-layer head gaskets for the aluminum heads. If you're going, oh wait, my motor gasket showed up and it's got a composite in it, that is for the cast iron LS motors. Cast iron headed motors. Sorry about that. So then I got new rear sail gasket. There's an oil pump there. The new head bolts, timing chain, and there's my lifters I cleaned up. I found some more pieces. I got a wash up, fuel pump. I've seen some where you can do some massaging right there, down in there. I might do that, take that pump apart, do that to this one. But I am now trying to find my specs, and I'm getting ready to go through and torque these. I know they got ARP assembly lube under them, and get those all torqued. And I'll see if I can find the diagram that I need. Okay, here in this book I found it, and so I don't destroy the book, I went over and made a photocopy, and that'll be easier to hold. Something to also notice too. 1, 2, 3, 4. And number 5 is over there. But if you notice, that points back, that points back, that points back, that points back. That one points forward. That's how that is. The 5th one goes indifferent. And let's see. Standing on that side of the motor, so that's the first bolt, second, then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, then 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are all one spec, and then you got those specs there, and let's see. Let's see, connecting main pair. First time through it's 15 foot-pounds, and then 80 degrees on those ones I just counted off. Then the outer bolts here is 15 foot-pounds, and let's say 51 degrees. So yeah, you got different ones. And then the side cap bolts that go here are 18 foot-pounds, and if you're reusing your bolts, you have to put sealer on behind those. So, and so also with another tool you need is a good torque wrench that you can foot-pound and degree. I've used those little mounted degree wheels and that. I can't see them. So this one's got a buzzer light in the reading that you can go ahead and read it correctly. So I'll spin this motor around and get started. Okay, that worked out. I've got them all torqued down. And there's something that I wanted to tell you guys too. On these torque to yield like that, or degree bolts, once you get that degree, you can't go back and re-hit it because it'll start zero over and stop. Then you'll end up turning them another, whatever your degrees you set. So you got a one shot to hit it right, or then if you go over, you got to back it over, back it off, and go through it again. So, I mean, she is spinning very, very nice. Smooth, no binds, no noises, no nothing. So, now I got to finish cleaning up this rear cover. Get this cleaned up. This one's a heavy one. I've got another one to another motor that's light. They took a lot of aluminum out of it. I mean, this thing's probably about 5 pounds. The other one I've got around here weighs maybe a pound. So, but it just holds the seal and keeps the motor sealed up. But yep. Then she spins over. So yeah, I guess where we were at when we quit working on this motor years ago. And yes, I said years ago. This thing's been bagged up and covered for a long time. I was getting ready to tighten everything because there's new rod bolts in this. Reused the main bolts. Got new bolts for the heads. I'm going to take my inspection camera too and look down to make sure the threads are still clean. And that's something to remember on these LS motors too. If it's in the vehicle and you pull the heads off, you've got to make sure you blow out where the head bolts are, as if there's any water down in there, it'll hydraulic when you torque them, and you'll break the block at the bottom of these. And you'll see that on the back here, I guess, was a real popular spot. Let's see. Yeah, right there. That one right there is a real popular one where they break them. And it's outside the motor. So I guess if you got an antifreeze leak or antifreeze showing up on the back of your motor, chances are you broke that right there. So, alright. I guess, and unfortunately I've only got enough stuff to put one head on. The lifter trays are sitting right there. I gotta get some more. So we're going to go until I run out of parts. And, well, actually that's not going to take too long, but yeah, it's been a while since worked on this motor, and it's time to get it ready to go in. I got trucks that ain't running right and using oil, so time to get revamped on these and get building them. So, alright. Okay. I saved myself some money. I seen this idea and it worked really good. I've used my inspection camera in that. Took one of the old head bolts, cut 3 grooves in it, however many you want, and I chased all the threads. Then I used my inspection camera to look down in there to make sure the threads were all clean, blowed them out, and we're good to go. I've got 2 of the lift trays. I gotta get me 2 more, and getting ready to get the lifters in that, because you don't want to forget to install your lifters before you put your head on. Don't ask me how I know, because that happened a long time ago. So, alright, I'm going to get busy on that. Okay, that head's on. It was 122, 90, 90 on all but 2, and that one's only 50 degrees. You just got to follow your instructions as you're told. And down here, there's a little plastic dump. Looks like a dumbbell or whatever. If you forget that, you will have major oil issues. I've got the new rear seal in to come with that there. I'm going to use that to align this cover, and we're going to start buttoning this thing up. Hey everybody, I know this isn't part of the current build, but it is part of the current build. I'm missing stuff for this other motor, and well, there's the oil pan. I do have a good oil pan. Pickup tube, probably not. Windage tray, probably not, but Found the problem. Hopefully it shows up. Number 5's got a bent rod. Is the only thing I see wrong with it, so she must have hydrolocked. So you're thinking, and I found it cheap. I really did. I was happy with what I paid for the core, a lot cheaper than other places for cores, but I needed the nuts off of here. I needed the oil pump mounting bolt. Lots of little stuff already been saved off this. Already get my money back already. I needed a harmonic balancer, and well, I don't know what heads I got. I don't know what those are. I can't see them yet, but I'm gonna try and get this knocked apart quick. Saving the block, maybe. Doubt it. Crank, maybe. Doubt it. So let's get her knocked apart and see what we got. Well, just like that, I got me a timing cover, all the bolts. I've got the bolts for the oil pump now. Let's see what happens here. Yep, there's a fine piece of junk. Now I'll take the cam bolts out. Then I'm going to set this thing up right. And because I need the heads off this thing to get to the lifter trays that I need. Oh, there's crank trigger. Some of that stuff now. So yeah, already I have saved a lot of money because I was adding up the parts for what I paid for this motor and the parts I'm getting. Way ahead now, way ahead. There's what I needed. I needed those lifter trays. Lifter stayed in there, of course. A little rusty, and then I see it's a flat top, so this was a 4.8 after all, not a 5.3. Anyway, I want to get her whipped around, get the other head and that stuff off, and get the valley tray off there too, and then save this oil cinder, and then we'll be good. Well, as you can see, it got dark, and I think I got the wrong one. My fingers don't want to work. Yep, I got the wrong one. Anyway, I gotta save that. Looks like she's a 4.8 because it's got flat top pistons. Let's see. Those are definitely flat tops. Got a little water in that cylinder. And then I got the heads and some gunky valve covers. The poor thing must have never had an oil change in its life. So anyway, I gotta get that off and get that out, and yeah, look at that nasty mess. All right. Well, we're back on the LS. Finally lucked out and had a good day. And I'm going to talk about this oil pickup tube. You see, I've got one on there, and take a real good look at that. See that? I'll show you the deal here. Anyway, here's the one that came out of a motor that I saved. I mean, it's clean, it's looking good, and that. Then I happened to look down inside there. It's just a dark hole for you guys, but anyway, down in there, there's rust on the inside of the tube. And look at here, look at how that's flopping around. See, that one doesn't, that is welded to it. That one, I looked out and picked it up at the GM dealership. They had it sitting on the shelf since 2017 because there for a while they were having troubles with these motors, and they were going through oil pan, cam and lifters and that there for a while. Oh, I got that new and just got that put in. Well, then I thought, being a smart butt, I asked about the front timing cover, the oil pan, and you notice these are all GM part numbers. There you go. Those are GM part numbers. I got the new harmonic balancer bolt and the new front seal. Just to get this, well, to get this, the oil pan gasket and that front seal to a parts house was a stupid price. I actually went to the GM dealership and got genuine GM parts a heck of a lot cheaper than what I was going to get from the parts house. Right now you can hear the hot tank back there going in the background. And I got the oil pan being washed up, so. And I bought a parts motor, as you've seen. I think I got the video. Yeah, that's in the videos. And that got me all the water pump bolts, the nuts for the windage tray, the oil pump bolts, all the bolts for the covers, the oil pan, everything. And that there I picked up. Glad I didn't get much because I don't think I'm going to be able to save that block. As you guys can see, she's pretty nasty inside. And looking closer at it, it looks like they smoked about half of the rods in it. So that crank and rod's seen a lot of heat, and that one's got a bent rod on it. So anyway, yeah, for once the GM dealership lucked out, and I guess this is, according to him, was the updated design, because they had that problem with sucking air around these oil pumps and ruining the motor. So yeah, we finally found the date on the box. Thing's been sitting there since 2017. So anyway, I'm going to check on that oil pan, and I got the cover here. Oh, and that was the other thing, I got this cover off that parts motor. I didn't like how it looked, so gave her a quick paint job. Granted, by the time you put it in, you won't see it. But right now, and then I just got off the phone with somebody that said, hey, you were looking for a carbureted intake? You might have two. So, I guess I might be able to get this rigged up to where I can run it on the engine stands first. So, anyway, I'm going to get back to work. Well, here we are, getting up to the time that I want. Got the harmonic balancer looking brand new. I got stuff called evaporust that's in that black barrel there. Cleaned it, washed it, wire wheeled it. Got this thing looking brand new. So that should be fine with the belt, won't destroy it. Worked on that oil pan last night, and it took me forever to get it to come clean because I had some black stuff down in there, black stuff up in that corner that wouldn't come off. I ended up using carb cleaner and a wire wheel. And when I put it back in the hot tank again, I left some of that carb cleaner on there. Finally cut that stuff off. So I got the windage tray installed, and there is a spot that says rear. You put it in backwards, it's going to hit and not fit right. Got the oil pump tube, like I said. If I'm repeating some of this stuff, I'm sorry. It's just I'm been filming this over many days. Unfortunately, it takes me longer to do things than what I want, but anyway, now I'm to the point to where you go to put that on. If you bolt it up, look at that, you're going to have a lip there. They do have a special tool that bolts to here and there, then you bolt the cover to it, and then all that. Well, if you don't have those special tools, I see there are some cheaper ones coming out now that I might, if I keep going on these LSs, might look into. But what I've done in the past with these LSs is I've used the crank itself to align the back one, and now I'm putting the harmonic balancer on to align the seal. The seal's going to center itself. Then I can get this up to where it's supposed to be. So I'll show you now. There's the lip we got. See, you know, it moves. It moves. I mean, it's got a lot of travel there. So I'll get this cranked on, and I'll show you guys where we're at. Okay, see how much it's changed? Yes, there's a little bit of rubber sticking up, but that needs to stay there because you got to put some silicone here and there in all four corners where the oil pan gasket and that meet. So that seals it, and these bolts for this particular engine were 18 foot-pounds. So now I gotta work on the back, get that done, get that lined up, and before I tightened anything, I rotated the motor over too to help the seals center themselves, and then proceeded to tighten everything up. We're about done with this build. And there we go. It's all on. I don't know why they didn't put that bolt in, but they leave that one blank. It's in the block, but they didn't do that oil pan. They have never figured out why. But as for lining up the back of the block, what I do is take the machine surface here for the bell housing, and check it there. Same way over there. And once it's there, crank it down, and the motor is basically done. So anyway, I know this wasn't a full detail on this build. This motor's been sitting around here for many years, and it's time to finish it up and get it done, which we are. Might have found a carbureted intake, so then I'll need the ignition box, and we could put this on the run stand here and run it before it goes into anything. I still got a pressurized oil system, and that's with this plug here. You got to take this out and use one of those pressure tanks, force the oil in through that so it fills all the lifters, the oil pump, everything. So there's a few more things to do to this thing. I'm in the process of making a pressure tank. Maybe I'll get the stuff I need to weld on and the fittings and the hose made, and we'll have that. Anyway, like I said, this wasn't a full detail build. Actually, I'm getting this going because either A, it's going to be for sale. If somebody's interested, hit me up. B, or I'm going to put it in one of my trucks, because the one truck has almost 400,000 miles, the other one has 255,000, and the other one's got almost 300,000. So yeah, all high mileage vehicles. Just trying to keep them going. It's about all a person can do. So anyway, in the future we will have more details on building these, but I just kind of did this to get a video out to everybody. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Have a good one.